one of the ways that we can help figure out if our pigments are warm toned or cool toned is to do a drawdown chart. So I am going to be doing a drawdown chart with my Ever After pigments. So let's take a look. I got my little micro swabs here. Doing a drawdown chart is great if you like got a new pigment set and you're not sure what its undertones are. They're really easy to do. You just take a tiny little dot of your pigment and draw it down. I got a little cup of water over here because I want to see what it looks like at its darkest and what it looks like at its lightest. You can see this has a lot of yellow in it, a lot of yellowy undertones. So this was neutral blonde. I'm gonna grab the warm blonde now and see the difference. So this one you can see is definitely a little warmer in tone, a bit more orangey than this guy over here. And now once these are kind of side by side, this is almost looking a little bit more green. So it's definitely helpful to put these side by side so you can really compare and contrast. So I'm gonna look at my dark browns now. This is neutral dark brown. This set is kind of nice, helps you cheat a little bit because, you know, it says it right there in the name, so you know these are like more neutral undertones. So you can see this definitely has a bit more blue in it. This tone, I imagine, could have the potential to kind of turn a little bit gray over time, so you're gonna have to be very choosy with what client and their skin type that you use it on. We're gonna put the warm one right next to it and see how that looks. So immediately you can see like this has got a lot more red in it. So this is a good way to help figure out which inks have which kind of undertones. And now the second half of the equation is to think about your clients and their skin's undertones, because they're all gonna mix and match. So on clients that have cooler undertones, we're gonna wanna use warmer pigments because warm and cool cancel each other out. If you have a cool tone client and we put like a cool toned pigment on top of them, that's when we get brows that heal like blue and gray and sometimes even green over time. So we always want to make sure we're using a warmer pigment on them. If we have a client that has warmer undertones and we use like warmer pigments on them, there's a good chance that those brows are going to heal a little like pinky or orangey. Obviously not awesome. So on warmer undertone clients, we always want to use a cooler undertoned pigment. So again, this is a great place to start. It is not exactly what it's going to heal like. So there are a lot of different factors that go into how brows heal, including like your body's natural pH levels, your metabolism, any medications you may be on, conditions you may have, lifestyle choices, like how much sun exposure do you get? Like there's a lot that goes into final healed results. One thing that typically is true across the board is that when brows heal, they are going to be lighter in color and cooler in tone. So when clients leave after getting their brows freshly done, they're gonna be nice, they're gonna be dark. They may be a little bit more orangey or red than they're going to want them to be. So I always warn my clients, it's like, hey, like it might be a little bit more, red than you want it, but don't worry, it's going to cool down and it's going to settle. Because basically it's your skin heals over the top of everything, which provides like a blurring layer. And then whatever levels of melanin and type of melanin you have in your skin, that ink is going to combine with that melanin and everything's going to mix together. So this is one of my clients here. I have some brows that I drew on her with Procreate here on my tablet. And this is just kind of an example of what that could look like. So I got a couple different layers here. So let's say she just came in, she had a fresh service, those brows are looking nice, they're looking dark, she wanted something really bold. And then after 4 to 6 weeks, everything's kind of healed and chilling out, then it's a little lighter and a little cooler. So to help kind of see the difference there. You can kind of see that there. These are definitely cooler in tone and lighter than these. These are warmer and darker. And again, we don't know exactly how much lighter or how much cooler it's going to heal. It just kind of depends on the client and their body and their skin type. But the nice thing is, if for whatever reason something happens and the client's like, oh, these are just, my healed brows are warmer than I want them to be, we could always cool them down using a cooler tone pigment at a touch-up. Same thing if they're a little too warm, you could always, or if they're too cool, you can warm them up and darken them up at a touch-up. Touch-ups are definitely a part of this. They are a natural part of the journey. This is definitely not a one and done thing. So just make sure your clients understand that going into it, and so there's no, surprises along the way. But this is a great way to figure out the undertones of your pigments if your stuff does not come with a handy dandy chart. This is ever after, comes with a nice little chart, tells you everything that's in it, and it'll even tell you like what kind of colors that these will neutralize or cover, so that's super nice. But again, if you don't have that, you could always do a drawdown chart.